Hey guys, surprise! Half my makeup's done. Okay, so here I am, almost naked face. Okay, so today what we're gonna talk about is my foundation routine. And I've had a couple people ask. I have no idea why y'all wanna know that because I have the worst skin of my life right now. I have super sensitive skin and I'm trying out a lot of new products. Normally I have my little box that I use and that's it. That's what I like. I know it doesn't break me out. I'm happy with those things. But because I decided to break out and have my little YouTube channel just for fun, just for an excuse to buy different makeup, so now I'm trying out new things and I think my skin is like, holy smokes, what the heck's happening? And I appreciate you guys are so sweet that have said that I have great skin. Haha, look, just kidding, surprise. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz and drop the veil. Hello. Okay, all right, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna look at my foundation routine. So I've already done my shadow. If you wonder why I've done my eyes first and not my face, because I have been playing with so many different palettes, some of them are made better quality than others, and you know, depending on your application process and what palette you're using, sometimes you'll get fallout, which I have a little glitter happening here already. So case in point. And if you've already got your foundation on, it is pretty much impossible to get that off. Now there are some things that you can do to kind of help it dissipate, but the best thing to do is to do your shadow first and then do your face. So the first thing that I like to do is, because I've got breakouts happening right now, and I don't even know that they're breakouts, they're just, yeah, they're breakouts. There's no way to sugarcoat that. I'm using this Clean and Clear formula. It is just called Clean and Clear Advantage and it's an acne spot treatment. But this spot treatment, just put it where you need it and it'll kind of clear up anything that you've got going on. So I really like that one. It says it won't over dry your skin, so I think that's why I like it better than some other ones that I've tried. So I keep that in my makeup kit just for days, you know, that my skin decides to act out. And then the next thing that I like is I'm always going to use a moisturizer with sunscreen in it. The one that I'm using right now is this Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel. And it doesn't have like the most sunscreen in the world in it. It's only got 15, but I like this. It's a water-based gel and let's see, can y'all see that? It just looks like regular old lotion. Just because, okay, to repeat myself in every single video, I'm a photographer and so most of my day is spent outside. And I'm super tired because yesterday I drove 7 hours and to do bridal portraits in this adorable, cute little town, cute little space. And so hopefully in the next month or so I can show you guys some of those if you're interested in seeing my work, what I actually do for a living. But anyway, I'm outside most of the time, and so if I wear a heavy moisturizer, it just tends to melt off my face. So a gel-based moisturizer is just the greatest thing in the world. I used to use one by Garnier that was just a gel, and I loved the way it felt, but it had no SPF in it at all, and I just feel like I have to have that. I just, in my makeup, in my moisturizer, I'll even add some extra on top. I just am a bug on that, so that's really important. So then the other thing that I like to use is a pore filler. Okay, and this one's by Maybelline. This one's baby skin. I like this one because it is for sensitive skin. But this is called Instant Pore Eraser. And all you do, and I've already done this today, I can do a little bit more just so that y'all can see what it looks like. But it's a clear, just a clear gel. I doubt that's gonna film it all. Can y'all see that? I just put it, and I kind of like to press it in, press and drag, because you know, you're trying to fill those little spots. So if you just gently just buff it on, you might be skimming over the things that you're trying to feel. So I kind of am pressing it in my pore areas, which are just kind of right here on me. I mean, wherever you feel like you have the most texture is where you would want to use this. Okay, so then the next thing that I use, gosh, okay, how many things am I using this morning? And then now for the magic. To fill the W word. I don't want to admit that I have those things. What bugs me are these little lines up here on my forehead. I have a couple of different products for y'all. This one I have had forever, and it's probably my favorite, and it's getting a little harder to find. I searched online and it was a little harder to find, but yesterday I did find this in Walgreens. It's around $30. And this is the Olay Regenerist. I've had mine for a really long time. They last forever. Regenerist, the Wrinkle and Pore Vanisher. So this is technically also, instead of, if you didn't want to buy this product, if you're not super sensitive, if you didn't want to buy a separate pore filler, then this would do both. This is kind of like spackle for your face, and you would put it where your pores are, and then you put it on your wrinkles. Now this has not broken me out either, so I could use this as a pore filler, and it's just like a cream, and then I just kind of go over where those little boogers are. I just do the same kind of thing where I'm pressing it in. I got little freckles on my forehead from all the outsideness that I've been doing. And then the other one, sometimes this one's hard to find if you're, having trouble finding it. I did see it in Target yesterday too. And like I said, it's around $29. So that's a really good one. It's gonna last you forever. So I know $29 may sound like a lot, but hey, if it vanishes your wrinkles, then I say go for it. All right, so then the other one that I actually really like is by number 7, by Boots. I think it's Boots, but anyway, it's number 7. This one's a lot easier to find. I've seen it at Target, Walmart, Walgreens. Also Ulta. This one actually may have come from Ulta. This one does not say that it's a pore filler. It just says it's a wrinkle filler, and this one's white, whereas the other one was kind of a cream. Same thing, and I really can't tell. I guess I should do a comparison between the two. I can't tell a difference between them. I don't really have one that is just one that I love more than the other. It's just I bought this one before when I couldn't find this. So either of those are really great, and that's what I would do first, just kind of fill those in. And it really does. I don't know if it just plumps the skin or if it's actually sitting in there filling in those little gaps. Okay, so now that I've told you 2 things that I like, let me show you something that I hate. Okay, hate is bad. We want to be positive and love and light and flowers and beautiful sunshine. Okay, so, all right, I do not like this at all. This is supposed to be another wrinkle vanisher situation. It says instant results. It's the Revlon Youth Effects Fill and Blur Primer for the forehead. I do not like this. This is not a cream that gets in there and fills. It's this nifty looking little bottle, and then I guess I can say that about it. It looks like fingernail polish or something, and it's just this goopy gel that you're supposed to paint over your lines. And I got this one from Ulta. When I bought it, I didn't realize that you technically could take things back to Ulta. And so I just kept it. I hate it. I've tried it several times. It does not fill in my lines at all. And then it just kind of makes this pasty, sticky, tacky, like you've put a plastic film on your head, but it didn't fill in anything. So I don't know, maybe I'm using this completely wrong. This is just a dud for me, a huge dud. So whatever you do, don't buy this. This one, thumbs down, don't do this. This is, I don't know what that's good for, but it's not good for filling the W words. So sometimes I'll even put a sunscreen on again on top of all this other stuff if I'm gonna be outside a lot. And we're not gonna do that today because today I'm actually gonna be inside some. And okay, so we're gonna move on to foundation. I don't cover my spots until after I put my foundation on. It just kind of depends, but that's really the game plan. Are y'all, okay, so I'm a weirdo, I'm an oddball if you haven't noticed, that I conserve my good products and my good stuff. I don't wear that every single day. It depends on what I'm doing in terms of the foundation that I wear, and I'm outside most of the time, but if I'm not gonna be outside and say I'm just going on a date, or if it's nighttime or something like that, then I really like, this is an oldie but goodie and it's been around for a long time. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. The color that I have, you guys, is Pearl. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, the color that I have is Pearl. This is beautiful. This is so pretty. It makes my skin look flawless. And I know that this one's been around for a while. This is probably not the newest and greatest and most fabulous thing that you've ever heard of. But once I find something that is super great, this is a good one. So I keep this pretty much in stock just for fancy occasions where I'm inside, which is never. Just for my everyday makeup when I'm going to the studio or, you know, have to go do my job. I am really liking this new CoverGirl foundation. And I haven't used CoverGirl, I mean, to be honest, I've not used CoverGirl in years. This Healthy Elixir has vitamins in it, and it says it's a full coverage makeup. It hydrates your skin. It's got antioxidants and vitamins. It's oil-free, and it has SPF of 20. And the color that I've got is Classic Ivory because I'm super pale. All right, so the way that I apply this is also by the seat of my pants, the way that I feel that day. I have a Real Techniques sponge. This one's already been dampened. These are around $5. And then I also have really enjoyed this new foundation brush. You can get these at Ulta. These are around $30, I think. Maybe 25 to 30. I'll have all that in the description. This is an airbrushing foundation brush by It Cosmetics. So I'm gonna do half my face with the brush and half my face with the sponge just to kind of show you how I would do it. So I'm just gonna put some on my brush, and I'm just gonna start out with kind of a tiny bit, and we'll do this side. And then you just kind of, I actually just kind of paint it on first. Kind of get it going. See how fast this is? Start kind of buffing that in. Just kind of in little circles here. Be careful around your eye. That's the drawback to me to doing your eye makeup first is around my eye. I have a hard time keeping my foundation off of that. Okay, so I'm probably gonna come back and hit my problem areas, but let me just show you first. Let me let that kind of sit just a little bit. I'm going to put it on with a sponge on this side, and I do the same kind of thing where I just kind of move it around first, covering, and then I just dab. And you kind of want to have a little more pressure. I mean, once you get it kind of moved around your face and kind of covered where you want it to be, and that's just really 2 squirts. And this is a full coverage foundation, so it will come back and cover my spots, my problem areas. And see, that really covered a lot of my problems. Made things look a whole lot. Oh, I just went on the wrong side. And then I keep coming back in if I've got time. Now, if I'm in a super huge hurry, trying to get to the studio, then I don't spend as much time doing this as I should. But if you really press that product in, trying to get it into your skin, it will stay longer and it will help your skin look smooth and flawless. I don't really know exactly why that works, but it does. Different foundation behaves differently, so you may want to just kind of play with it and see which applies better, the sponge or the brush. I love the brush. The brush is so, oh, I got a hair in there. It's not my hair, it's not attached. So I'm not freaking out. To me, the sponge gives me a little lighter coverage than the brush does. So I'm gonna come back, add a little bit more to my foundation, to my sponge, and now I'm just gonna kind of come back those areas that I want to hit, and I'm just gonna jump over here. I'm not gonna worry about switching to the brush. I was just gonna show you that you could use a brush to apply and things go really fast that way. Alright, so this foundation is really good about being buildable so that you can add more if you need to. Really make sure you get that jawline. I like that it covers so well. And then just kind of bring it down your neck. Ooh, I hate that sound. Maybe I shouldn't talk while I'm doing it. You don't ever want to line. And let me show you a trick that a friend of mine told me about years ago. If you're worried that your foundation might be a little bit off color and that it's not gonna blend, or if you have a problem with it oxidizing just a little bit, not like major Oompa Loompa oxidizing, like if it turns to a whole different shade, I don't really know how to help you there. But just where I brought this down my neck a little bit, I just have lotion. This one's by Victoria's Secret. Doesn't matter. Any lotion is fine, whatever you have. And I just get a little of that. Let me put this down. I don't think I'm gonna be able to squish it without it being on my desk. Okay, so I get a little lotion that's probably way too much. And then where the line is where I stopped blending my foundation, if you'll just use this lotion to kind of blend out that edge, it will make that you won't have a baseline. Do people even call them baselines anymore? Okay, so then moving on to our next step would be concealing. And I really like the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. And I'm gonna use that today. This is a really thick foundation. This is a really thick, full coverage concealer. I'm just gonna dab that in with the pointy end of my sponge. One thing that I found that is really close to this, it might not be a dupe exactly, but blend that out as best I can. Probably gonna have to come back and hit the edges of my shadow because I always bring my concealer and my foundation up too high, and I probably just did it. The edge of my eyeshadow just kind of disappears. So that's the one thing that I have a hard time with. Let me get this and then I'll tell you. That's the one thing that I have a hard time with is like right here on the edge of my shadow. When I do my foundation last, I sometimes will make that line disappear. So that's one thing to watch and to be real careful with. I think this is around $28. Between $20 and $30. Okay, we're gonna say that. Between $20 and $30. It's been a while since I bought it, so I don't exactly remember what I paid for it, but you get this at Ulta or Sephora, and I love the way it covers. And if you don't have that one, then another one that's really good is this Age Rewind, and this is by Maybelline. You know, see that? That one's been around for a while. And I go with the lightest shade. This one, the Tarte, the Shape Tape is in just the shade Light. And then, of course, I'm sure this one is too. This one's in Fair. How's my baseline looking? Still blended? Still okay? All right, so if you're going to, if you decide that you need a little more help in the coverage department, the absolute best concealer that I have found. I mean, these things are okay. The Age Rewind, that's nice. It's pretty good. It's kind of thick, okay? Also, another really good one that I like is by Ulta. And they have, this one's waterproof. This is probably in Light Cool. I really like that. This is close to the shade of my Tarte Shape Tape. I wanna say these are around $9 a piece, and this is probably $7. This is a really good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. All right, so the best concealer that I have found is by NYX, and mine's kind of smudged on the top. This will last forever. So I'm just gonna put it, and you can definitely tell this is a thick, no messing around concealer. When I did it on my finger, I'm not scooping out product. I'm barely touching it and then just dabbing it. This will last forever. This is in Porcelain. This is the NYX Full Coverage Concealer, and it is awesome. This is the big guns. I bring this out when I've got major spots to cover, and then I'm just gonna kind of dab back over with my beauty blender. Oh, nope. This is not a beauty blender. This is my Real Technique sponge. Really in my blush area, so it's not gonna be super tacky, and that will kind of set the concealer. These are by Wet n Wild, and they're called Coverall, and it's a pressed powder. These are the best things. These are equivalent. I have my MAC Studio Fix powder. To me, this Cover All by Wet n Wild is the same as my MAC powder. I love this stuff. So, and this one's been very greatly loved. You can see I've hit pan on that like a long time ago. But this stuff is the best for setting your under eye. And so if I can get it on there, because I don't have much in my pan, and then I just kind of come in here. I mean, you can see that. Did you see how that just set right there? This is a full coverage. I mean, this stuff works. This stuff is great. See, that just disappeared. You don't see my little spot there at all. And I'm just doing this with my damp my damp sponge. This is, go find this. I don't know where you need to look. Seems like I did find some more of these at the dollar store. I have seen these at Walgreens, but this is what you're looking for, Cover All. I know you can still order this on Wet n Wild's website, so if all else fails, do that, because and buy 10 of these, because we don't ever want Wet n Wild to stop making these. I don't know why they're harder to find. These are not everywhere, but they should be. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. They're great. Okay, so that's pretty much my whole foundation situation going on. I have a new brush. This one's pointy. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna try this one out. And I love, for bronzing, I love the Butter Bronzer, which is by Physicians Formula. It still smells like vacation. It smells so good. And so what I'm gonna do, this totally may be a bad idea because I don't know how this brush works. When you do your cheeks like this and it kind of sunks in right here above the apple of your cheek, I don't really need to be rubbing on my face, rub off all my foundation. That's where I want to start my contour. I think this brush is not a great brush to be doing this with. Can y'all see that? Most of my contour is here underneath the apple of my cheek, and I'm going up with it. I'm gonna go. Is my face really that lopsided? I'm just shading right under where my blush is gonna go. My blush is gonna go right in here. Just shading kind of underneath that. The blush that I'm gonna use today is by Milani. This is the rose one, and I've used this one a lot. This one is called Romantic Rose. It's their powder blushes. And just pick up a little of that. And I don't like to bring my blush out further than the corner of my eye because I have a really round face. So I stop mine right here. So this is kind of just the area. Which side of the brush? And these, I'm not really sure how I feel about this rose blush. It takes quite a bit of building it up before I get any color. I'm just going right in here, and I'm going upwards into my hairline. I don't like it straight. I like it kind of to lift my face a little bit. Can y'all see? Did I put any color on at all? Just kind of right there on that little cheekbone. Okay, maybe we'll finish this week. Okay, so in terms of highlighter, the one that I'm using right now is by Makeup Revolution, and it is the Golden Lights is the shade. It's their baked highlighter. So the brush that I'm going to use to apply that is by Real Techniques, and then I'm just going to barely pick that up, and I like to knock off most of it. And then it's going to go right here on this bone, and I'm just barely putting that there. Highlighter tends to show texture, so if you've got any type of dry skin, wrinkles, pores, any of that, highlighter is going to show that up. Ooh, hello. That's if you wanted it to really show up. Let me put a little more over here. And I'm gonna knock that, I'm gonna blend that down because I don't want just major highlight. You can also put here above your brow. I always like to do it once it's knocked down. And then under your brow bone is also another spot. The tip of your nose is a good spot to do. Your Cupid's bow, if you don't have a lot of fine lines here, Cupid's bow. Okay, this one I've got a little more blended out than this side. I was pretty heavy-handed with that side. I'm gonna just blend that out just because I I want just a soft, subtle glow. I know that's totally contradictory to what everybody else on YouTube does. How they have that BAM highlighter and it's that one little stripe. I don't like the stripe. I like mine to just be kind of a subtle, where my skin looks radiant and pretty. Probably not. On camera it's probably like one little stripe right there. Okay, and that is how I do my skin. I'm gonna set it because I have so many layers of powder and so many layers of product on here. I'm gonna set it. Today I'm gonna use L'Oreal's Infallible, the makeup extender. This one is a really good setting spray. If you want longevity, this one makes it last. You come back now that all that's done, and I'll do my shadow underneath my eyes and my liner and lips and all that. So if you're interested in that, just stay tuned. If not, then thanks for watching up to this point. Please, please, please subscribe. That would be super great. And okay, so y'all just stay tuned and let me just show you my finished look for today. Okay, so that is about it. I just went ahead and finished my under eye. Since I'd already done my foundation, I needed to come back and finish under here because there's just no way to do that and do the concealer and all of that and keep it intact. So once my foundation is done, I come back and finish my eyeliner and then my shading under my eyes, did my lashes. I've got a cheap pair of lashes on that are actually probably one of my favorites that I own. These are by LA Colors. They're dramatic lash. These are called Delightful. These are like 97 cents. At Walmart, at the end, there's a little end cap and they had a bunch of things that were all these little bins that were 97 cents. And so I thought, well, let's just try these. That is my foundation routine. That's how I cover up all my bad skin that I'm having right now. And that is that. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you'll please subscribe, that would just be totally awesome. And y'all have a great afternoon. I'm gonna go outside and play in the bluebonnets. Bye guys.